5 minutes ago in the game. I thought, Keon did a great job, got the steal. He shoots a tough floater. And I thought our next 3 possessions were really tough. We shot some tough twos. Like after Keon shot a tough two. And, those 2 instances versus a really good team were the difference in the ball game. Against a good team, you have to be methodical with your approach, not in terms of we want to play fast. I'm okay playing fast, but when I say methodical with your approach is you're not going to put a good team away by taking tough twos, especially late in the ball game, or gambling at any time because they'll make you pay. And, I thought in the second half, their ability to up their aggressiveness defensively and put some pressure on us, funneling us to Rudy, making us shoot the tough twos in the paint over Rudy instead of playing off a 2 and spraying it and keep the ball moving. I thought that was the biggest difference in the second half, especially after they cut our lead from 10 or 11 or whatever it was to 3 or 4. But I saw a lot of good things from our guys throughout the course of the game. Again, it's about us staying disciplined enough to play possession after possession after possession the right way. And I got to give Julius credit. I mean, he shot the mess out of the ball tonight from the 3. He's 5 for 6. I thought our guys did a decent job guarding the 3. And if Julius goes 5 for 6. That's tough, between him and Naz Reid. They're at 9 for 16 from the three-point line, and a couple of those were wide open. But that's going to happen throughout the course of the game. But a couple that he made, they were tough step back contested threes, which is what we'll live with, especially with the size of this team, and this team only getting 32 points in the paint.
Mike, just what did you think in that final possession? Obviously, you trusted DeMar to make that play to get it inbounds, just from your vantage point.
Yeah, and it's great for us. We've gone over the play a couple of times. I think you all saw Keegan was wide open. There was just DeMar has a series of reads, and by the time, and it's a little new for him because we've gone over it. We haven't really necessarily done it. I think we've done it live, did it live once, but we've walked through it a ton. And so when it's live, especially with no timeouts, you're trying to look at every read. And I think if he could have, if we all had a better feel on it, and there was a little zip on the ball, I think Keegan would have got a clean look from the three-point line. But it was lobbed a little bit, which allowed, I think, Naz Reid to recover. He took one side dribble. And maybe Ant, I think, went over there. He was smart. He knows 2 seconds you're not going to be able to move the ball, especially after taking a side dribble, and so he contested it too. So decent look for us running it the first time live, and I think we'll be better in that situation. But great job getting guys open, because Malik was open too for, I think, a split second. Yeah.
What did you think of the defense he did against Rudy up until that point? Because Rudy was really not a factor at all for them.
Yeah, it was tough, and we keep talking to Domas. He's got on Rudy, on the foul that he got with Rudy, he led with his hands, and a guy like Rudy, we just wall up. There's no reason to lead with your hands, especially with Rudy being off balance, and. So that's a tough call. And then, I thought Domas did a great job going vertical, and Ant would have had to make a tough shot, but he came across his body. And again, we keep talking to our guys about leading with your chest, leading with your chest, leading with your chest. If they make the shot, you just live with it. And so Domas, he's going to be better, but 2 tough fouls that where they scored 4 points from the free throw line in the last couple of minutes that helped them, stay in the game and/or get the lead. But I thought overall Domas played a really, really good game. had him in a lot of different coverages, and he was doing a great job in the pick and roll coverage. He also did a good job of trying to rebound and boxing guys out, and a great learning experience for our group. But like I said, I thought we played a pretty good basketball for most of the game.
Mike, stylistically, this team often has, done a lot of DHO with Domas and shot a ton of threes tonight. Seemed like a lot more mid-range game, getting to the free throw line a lot more. Is that stylistic change? Is that something that you guys are trying to do intentionally? Or are you guys going to try to incorporate what we're used to seeing with all those threes in the DHO game we're used to?
Now, maybe not we may not run as much DHO because, you got a guy like DeMar, and shoot, it's great to have the ball in his hands. It's great to have the ball in Leake's hands. It's great to have the ball in Fox's hands. So you have another guy that, commands to touch the ball a little bit more. And you could see DeMar had some pretty good looks, especially early on, that he turned down. His game is the mid-range. He's an elite mid-range guy. And so he's going to take a lot of shots, and that's going to probably take away from the three some, which I'm okay with. Where I think we could be better is we went through stretches, especially, like I said, after with Keon's floater, and then the next three possessions after it, where we had an opportunity to touch the paint and spray it, but we shot tough twos over Rudy. And, you got a guy as big and long as Rudy, that makes it really, really, really hard to score. So I thought there were opportunities for us to spray the ball. So not necessarily from a DHO standpoint, but there were opportunities for us to touch the paint and spray the ball probably 5 to 6 more times than what we did tonight. And that's where the 35-plus threes would have come from, in my opinion.
22 points off, 17 Minnesota turnovers. Just what do you think of your defense as a whole, the physicality and keeping the other team out the paint?
I thought we did a pretty good job with it. I got to give Randall. Randall was 13 for 17 overall. That's freaking phenomenal, And I thought he hit some tough shots. Like I said, Ant's he's gonna score, and I'm okay if he's gonna take 24 shots. And score what he did. You hope that he doesn't score that many, but he's talented. He is who he is, and Randall is too. Randall's going to score, but for him to go 5 or 6 from the 3-point line, that's a little tough for us to swallow. And so I thought defensively, for the most part, we were pretty good. We just have to continue, to lean with our chest and staying solid while trying to be physical. And if we do, we're going to have a lot of real good results.
Mike, how much better did this look and feel to you than what you saw in the preseason, and how good were the last couple of days of practice, having the full complement of players where maybe you can raise the level of competition and maybe intensity too in the practice gym?
Like the preseason is tough. We went 5-0. I think my first year in the preseason, I think we lost our first 4 games or whatever. Last year I think we went 1-4 in the preseason. So, especially with all the injuries we have, I'm not too concerned about the preseason. I'm looking at different things. I'm trying different combinations, especially with the injuries and having a new guy like DeMar, who's going to get a lot of opportunities to play with the ball in his hands, and then trying to incorporate him with what we're trying to do defensively. So, I understand that there was probably some panic in the preseason because we didn't win a game. I completely respect that, but for me, I was okay with the preseason because of the things that I just said. I thought tonight we played a pretty good game, but the good part about it is I believe we could play better. And that's what's exciting to me, is that we can play better than what we did. Now, having said all that, you could see just by the minutes that that I'm still not comfortable with my rotation. I don't want DeMar to average 43 minutes a game. I don't want Keegan to average 43 minutes a game. And so that's something that I have to continue working on to help them out. I also don't want Domas at 38, and I don't want Fox at 37. So again, that's something that I have to continue working on with the group to figure out what's going to be good for us rotationally going forward, and it may take some time. Thank you, guys.
Locker room's open.